Whoa. Look at this freaking Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. Looking all mystical and magical, and it definitely is. I got to record the opening of the game that I played, and then they had Nintendo people playing later sections of the game. This still is in the opening area, though. If you notice, the map and the things you see are all from the initial little chunk of land that we discovered in our first part. There's flamingos, there's foxes, you can kill everything, you can grill them. It's not very nice, but you can. And I just love the size and the scope of this world, and I love the fact that it's an action-oriented game in said open world. So you jump, you fire arrows, you glide, you swing your sword, you get weapons, and it all feels good. So it's got like good, better than ever Zelda combat in a big open world where you can find stuff like a giant rusty claymore. And it's very large, but you can find small things too, like mops. You can find stuff like garden hose. You can find, clubs and swords and spears, and I'm sure a whole wide variety of crazy stuff. I'm sure as you get up into the mountains and the sky that you're going to find weird weapons, maybe like a freaking fossilized feather or a giant ice pick. In the meantime, though, we're hunting for a shrine, and there are... Whoa. Hello, coming through. Someone's trying to be a little bit of a stinker. Look at this giant guy off in the distance. We're going to a shrine, which is like basically the dungeons, and well, kind of like mini dungeons. There are main dungeons where you get these powers like stasis and the magnet and all that stuff, remote bomb. But then there also are like over 100 just like shrines strewn about the land, and there you can go and utilize a lot of these items to solve like smaller puzzles and get items or unlock stuff or at least just get a new fast travel point. This guy is absolutely massive. I love the way he looks. He kind of reminds me of a wet water rat, and I just love his lankiness. I love his big old snout. But apparently he's too tough, so we're gonna run past him and leave him in our wake. I really like that Breath of the Wild has decided to go for a what do you call it? Like, hey, you can run into enemies that can kill you in one hit. Like, it's not, I don't think it's scaling. I don't know if there's no scaling, but at least for the most part, like, you run into like crazy big enemies, they can kill you really fast. And I love that it allows for that and doesn't do like the stupid scaling thing where you can never die, and as you get stronger, they get stronger. But there's that mop I told you about, okay? It's made by a true craftsman, so even though we can't carry it, just know that it doesn't go forgotten. And that's a farming hoe. It's good for fields. It's actually stronger than the sword I have, which is odd in more ways than one. The markers on the little mini-map, the red, green, and blue, are, I guess, self-made markers. I thought maybe they were markers of main mission objectives. They still have not shown any, like, main dungeon, really. Boshkala Shrine is not a main dungeon. You're not getting a new item here. This is just one of the many shrines that you can unlock for fast travel and then solve puzzles within. Now, you may go into these and find that you don't have the item to solve the puzzle, and that's where sort of the Metroidvania, Zelda Mania, whatever you want to call it, style comes in. And I'm curious to see, what the size and scope of the massive dungeons are and how many there are. And even though this is an open world game, do what you want, go where you want, like what is the size and the scope of the major quest places? Now, you'll notice these markers at the top right. I asked about them. They wouldn't tell me what they all were. But there's hearts and rupees and all sorts of stuff. What's interesting is that the map is so massive that... we're still in the first sector of the map, which I think is just incredibly impressive. They're going to skip the little story bits here. This is called the Wind Guides You, so you know that you're going to need to use your glider. If you didn't have the glider, you would not be able to complete this. I don't think. I'm pretty confident that you would. So from here, we go over here, and inside this little chest, we get some amber. Okay. This is a very small little... I don't know if dungeon is even the right word. Shrine is a better word. But apparently, like, as far as I know, the dungeons themselves are also called shrines. They're just bigger versions. As you can see, this is basically like a one, or maybe you could qualify it as like a 2-room dungeon. But you'll see how quickly this is completed. Like, we're going to just, like, hop into this airway, dreaming of Makar, and then we get over here. Ooh, that's some pretty glass. When you're flying, you can do, like, that downward sword strike from Smash Bros. Move, which is pretty hot. But you'll notice, like, okay, literally, hey, we had to acquire the glider, and then, ta-da, this is the end of that. You'll go up here and talk to this person. They weren't allowed to show the story stuff or talking to this character, but that is a shrine, and these are strewn over 100 of them across the land. I'm in love with the game. I cannot wait till March 3rd. I hope you guys are excited. If you want more footage and more gameplay, I've got it. Let me know in the comments below. As we try to cruise for this chest, we're going to fall. And can we make it? No, we can't, but you guys can make it. So until next time, I love you. Drink so much. Thanks again. We will see you all later.